Hey guys, thanks for joining me this morning. Today is Monday, February 22nd, and I'm just going to be talking about the weekly transits, the horoscope for the week. We just got done with Mercury being retrograde for a significant amount of time, and that was Saturday, February 20th. And now Mercury is stationary. So it's going to be stationary for 2 to 3 weeks. Right around March 13th, it's going to go back to full speed. So it's going to be better, but it's not 100% yet. Um, Unfortunately, it does have this stationary shadow period where there's still some difficulty with communications and um, technology and talking with people. So um, it should be a lot better than it was the last couple of weeks, though. Um, and now let's see. Sunday night, last night, the moon entered Cancer. So Cancer is the home sign for the moon. So it's actually a pretty good placement for the moon. You might deal with some intensities, especially if are a water sign moon. So it's going to make you want to stay close to home, talk with family, those close to you, maybe spend time with your parents, or if you're a parent, maybe your children. Overall, it's a good spot for the moon, but there's going to be some emotional intensities, especially if you're a Cancer or Scorpio moon. Pisces moon, not so much. It's more so the Cancer and Scorpio moons really feel this transit more than most people. And now we're still dealing with that Saturn square Uranus transit, and it's going to be within 1 degree for the next couple weeks. So it's going to be pretty intense right now. With this aspect, especially with everything going that went down in Texas in the South, Uranus is electricity, it's power, could be social media, anything electric and technology related. And when it's square Saturn, which is the planet of karma, teaching, lessons learned, sometimes in a hard way. Um, it could be something where the state of Texas learns a little bit from the power supply. Maybe, maybe not, but not being critical of Texas at all. But this is definitely an aspect where some issues could come up with power, and we certainly saw that over the last week or so down there. Although they're doing much better now. Um, and with this aspect, also there could be some issues with like big tech and government, um, or big social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. There could be some differences between those companies and the government, possibly. That would be another issue going on, with that aspect. And another longer term transit involving Uranus would be the Uranus sextiles the sun. And this is a better, more harmonious aspect for um, just general feeling. You're going to want to try new things, maybe meet new people, kind of branch out and try to expand your horizons a little bit, which is great. And then on Wednesday, let's see, Wednesday morning, the moon is going to enter Leo. And another pretty good spot for the moon. Leo's all about having fun, creativity. It's a general happy theme for the moon. So maybe it's a Wednesday to Friday evening. It might be a good idea to go out, have fun. Leo's all about being a parent and children. So just like the moon in Cancer, maybe take your kids out somewhere if you're a parent, or if you're a kid and your mom or your dad hasn't been out because of COVID, maybe try finding a place where they can go out and have some fun somewhere. That's definitely a good spot for the moon. It's going to be there until late Friday night, until we get into the full moon early Saturday morning, the full moon in Virgo. There are some other aspects. Believe it's Wednesday. Just double check here. Yes, Wednesday is going to be a Mars trine Pluto. So these two planets are very similar. Mars is more aggression, strength driven, where Pluto is deeper, a little more emotional, really deep thinking. Um, Pluto is kind of in Scorpio, or related, and it's kind of related to the whole idea of shadow work, if you're familiar with that. Kind of really going deep inside your mind in order to progress and move forward. Um, not not burying things deep down inside, really trying to get those things to the surface. The trine's is a good aspect though, because it's 120 degrees. It's a lot like the sextile, where energies are working together, but they're not going too overboard like a conjunction would be. So there might be some intensities and difficulties with this aspect, but um, it's definitely a good time for motivation, maybe motivational speaking, um, getting a new routine at the gym, or if you do other things like a yoga practice or a meditation practice, this would be a good time to start something new, and really you're going to have a lot of motivation to do that. And then getting to Thursday, Venus is going to enter Pisces. So when Venus is in Pisces, Venus is all about beauty, creativity, love, how we show our partner love, how we spend money as well. And so maybe, especially this time of year, there's a lot of colds going around, and obviously COVID, and a lot of people are getting the COVID vaccine. I myself had the COVID vaccine on uh, Friday afternoon, and definitely hit me pretty hard. I was using some over the counter medication, and that's very indicated with Venus and Pisces. Um, buying cold medication because you're not feeling well. Also, might be a good time to spend on your feet. And if that, I know it sounds kind of odd, but if you're if you've ever tried like reflexology, treatments like that, because Pisces is all about the feet and the lymph, lymph. If you struggle with lymphedema, that would be might be a difficult time for you. And getting into Friday, like I talked about, with uh, the moon transiting from Leo into Virgo, and that's where the full moon is. So the full moon in Virgo, it's going to be communication driven. So let's see. And it's going to be linked to that Saturn square Uranus aspect. So the moon's going to be trine Uranus, so it's going to soften the energy a little bit. But those of you who are Taurus, Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn, if you're those four zodiac signs, if you have your sun, moon, or rising in those signs, the intensities from the sun, I'm sorry, from Saturn square Uranus might be a little more intense. Um, so, but there's going to be some deep work done inside of you to work on all of the communication problems or relationship problems you might have had during Mercury retrograde. This is a perfect full moon to have right after a Mercury retrograde, um, because you're going to be able to let go and clear all those problems you had during those past 2 to 3 weeks in order to move forward. So it might seem like an intense full moon to have right after a Mercury retrograde, but it's actually pretty beneficial. And then finally on Sunday, the moon's going to enter Libra. So this is a relatively busy week. Doesn't start off that way, but we still have that Saturn square Uranus, and as well as the Sun sextile Uranus. So that's um, a relatively big week as far as the astrology aspects go. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on social media. You can find me at psychology underscore. That's PSYCHEOLOGY. You can set up a chart reading, or you can just have a question in general, or comment or feedback. You can certainly leave that. I'm definitely open to any kind of feedback. Um, and if you're listening on my podcast, thank you very much. I had a little absence over the weekend. I was just not feeling up to it because of the COVID vaccine. It kind of really hit me like a truck. So, but yes, thank you for joining me. That's basically the forecast for the week, and trying going to make another video to really get into the sun sextile Uranus, and then also the Saturn square Uranus transit, because that's going to be prevalent for a pretty long period of time. Um, yeah, well, thank you for joining me. Hope you all have a great week, and we will see you back soon.